When it got announced that the Baltimore Ravens, specifically John Harbaugh, was going to be having a press conference at 7:45 a.m. on Monday morning, I looked at that and I said, what? But then I had to process it because I realized that all the head coaches, they down here in South Florida, and John Harbaugh, he probably just trying to get work out the way early so he can just vibe, he could just relax for the rest of the day in his time down here. So John Harbaugh, I understood why you took care of this super early in the morning, but he had a lot to say. He spoke about Lamar Jackson. He talked about Derrick Henry. He even spoke about Mark Andrews, about kickers, and we're going to cover all of that for you. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you don't miss a single update on our Baltimore Ravens. Leave a like on the video too because it helps out a lot. Team, keep it clean. I love y'all so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I don't want you missing a thing. Now, John Harbaugh, the way he started off this press conference, they asked, "Hey, Harbaugh, how you feeling after your contract extension, buddy?" And Harbaugh said, "You know what? It just means that God is amazing and the Ravens organization is amazing." I said, "All right, John Harbaugh and his Keith Lee." But why wouldn't he be? He got to be super grateful because he's been getting a million contract extensions from the Baltimore Ravens because he's been with the team since 2008. So that longevity is there. And after this most recent contract extension that got announced a couple of days ago, oh yeah, he got to be feeling like he is on top of the world. Now with John Harbaugh, it's funny because somebody in the comment section yesterday, they said, "Ingraven, you always defending John Harbaugh. You spend so much time defending John Harbaugh." And I'm like, me? And I said, it's not even that. With John Harbaugh, I just speak my truth on John Harbaugh. I just say how I feel about John Harbaugh. I tell you the good and I tell you the bad because I feel like when a lot of people speak about Harbaugh, people that don't like John Harbaugh, they only talk about the bad. They only talk about the negative, and that's it. For people that love John Harbaugh, they only talk about the good, and that's it. They don't speak about no bad. They don't speak about no negative. But for me, I do like John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh's cool. And even the times we got to meet John Harbaugh, he is super nice. But John Harbaugh as a coach, I just speak my truth about John Harbaugh. I talk about the good and talk about the bad. I present both sides and just try to help you form your own opinion. Because I don't want you to just ride with my opinion. Form your own opinion on John Harbaugh. But I don't hate him like a lot of people do. I do like him, but it is what it is. Did I hope the Ravens would move in another direction if they came up short this year? I did, but they're not. So, hey, let's hope for the ultimate success. Because I ain't about to sit up here and hope the Ravens are bad. I mean, they're not going to be bad. I ain't going to sit up there and hope for it. So, no, I ain't on that. But anyway, let's get into this presser. So, with Lamar Jackson, because we've been wondering, like, hey, we saw what Josh Allen just got. Hold up, Lamar contract numbers, it's about to skyrocket, especially next year when his cap hit goes up to like 70-something million. That's, you don't want to take care of that. But this is what Harbaugh said on Lamar Jackson. He said on a contract extension for Lamar, it's going to happen sooner or later, and it's going to have to happen. So, and he also talked about they've been having inside talks already about a Lamar contract extension, but this is the kicker right here. He said when Lamar gets paid, he's going to be the highest paid player in football. And that's gotta feel real good for Lamar Jackson. Like, because you can't take that back. You cannot take that back. Once you put that out there to the public, oh, Lamar Jackson's going to be the highest paid player in football. You can't renege on that. You can't. No. Because, and I know Lamar got to be watching like, oh yeah. And I'm sure he done talked to them already like Harbaugh said. But that's going to be great for Lamar, but also for the Baltimore Ravens because that's going to allow his cap numbers to drop significantly. And this was always something that was expected to be done once the original contract first came out. We knew they were gonna re-up on this in a couple of years, and that's exactly what they're doing. They can drop his cap hit for now, push some more to later years, and then do the same thing all over again. But this is no shocker at all, but this is good because it's a little exciting too because if you drop in Lamar's cap number, then that will give you even more cap room and flexibility for some other stuff, not just the draft, but for some other stuff just in case. Because you got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. But I know Lamar Jackson, he's going to be smiling from ear to end. You see what Josh Allen just got? Like, you see what like Lamar already got paid, but for him, what he's getting ready to get paid now, you see what Josh Allen just got. And he deserves it. Like, Lamar, the best football player in the world. So I love this for him. Love this for the Ravens. And it's going to be nice. But somebody else going to get ready to get paid too. And because Eric DeCosta spoke about Derrick Henry deal. Eric DeCosta spoke about Derrick Henry deal months ago. And now John Harbaugh just reiterated. He said they like the team to extend Derrick Henry, who's in the last year of his deal. So we heard when Eric DeCosta talked about that a while ago, I expected that to get done like sooner rather than later. But nothing happened yet. But when it does happen, that'll be nice because that'll give him and the team even more flexibility too. So Lamar deal getting done, Derrick Henry deal still on the way. We're still waiting. So it's nice to know that those moves are happening soon enough. Now, something that we've spoken about with Mark Andrews is I still don't know what his status is with these Baltimore Ravens. Even after they paid him his roster bonus of $4 million a couple of weeks ago, I'm still like, I don't know, I'm a little shaky on the whole Mark Andrews thing. And I will not be fully confident that he'll be a member of the Baltimore Ravens until like a week after the draft. And if Eric DeCosta or John Harbaugh come out and say something on it. Well, Harbaugh did speak on Mark Andrews, and he said the following, that he's been in touch with Mark Andrews, and he said that he's in a good place. He said Harbaugh acknowledged that there are no guarantees, but I do fully expect him to play for us next year. He's just too good of a player. Now, when you say there are no guarantees, then yeah, that means that you're not 100% sure either that anything could happen. So that would confirm that the status of Mark Andrews is still up in the air right now. Now, somebody else whose status, it seemed like it was up in the air, especially heading into this offseason, was that of Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson was a starting inside linebacker along Roquan Smith last season. Last season was his second year because he showed some promise in that last game of his first season. When a lot of the starters didn't play, Trenton Simpson got the most action that he got in his career up to that point. I mean, he was a rookie, but still, and he looked good. He was moving around good. He was tackling well, and it was like, okay, Trenton Simpson, if Patrick Queen leaves next year, that might be your spot. And it ended up being his spot, well, for a temporary amount of time because Trenton Simpson, he played last year, and a lot of times he just looked out of place. Seemed like the confidence might not have been there all the way, but he struggled a bit, and then the Ravens ended up benching him. They benched Trenton Simpson, and he never got his spot back. But now they lost Malik Harrison to the Steelers. They lost Chris Boyd to, I believe, the New York Giants. So they lost the linebackers who ended up starting in his spot. So it's like, now what? What are we going to do at inside linebacker? Jake Hummel is a possible option, but he's more so a special teams guy. So what do you do? Well, John Harbaugh said that with Trenton Simpson, he said that he expects Trenton Simpson to be a starting early down inside linebacker. And he said, but the team will add an inside linebacker at some point. So I said, oh, okay. Well, it's early. It's still early. We ain't even at training camp yet. We got a little ways to go. So you can say that now, but that competition is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But as far as Trenton Simpson, I would actually expect it to be reversed. For somebody else to be the early down inside linebacker next to Roquan Smith. And like on passing downs, maybe you bring out Trenton Simpson, or maybe actually, you know what? Maybe that was the case. Maybe they didn't like him in pass coverage. So maybe that was why John Harbaugh said that. So again, we'll see. A lot is to be determined. So we'll see about Trenton Simpson. Now, somebody else who they had a sort of down year last year, but just the fact that they played was great, but they just could never really find a role, and that was Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell, he burst on the scene 2 years ago, undrafted rookie free agent. And actually, the reason why Keaton Mitchell ended up just being so amazing and even getting the opportunity to show us how amazing he was 2 years ago was because the Ravens did not trade for Derrick Henry. Because had they traded for Derrick Henry, then we would not have gotten to see how good Keaton Mitchell was. So Keaton Mitchell, he went crazy. His first year, he was going wild. But then his second year, he was dealing with an injury. And then he did come back, but the Baltimore Ravens never could really just find a role for him. Because as a running back, they couldn't really find a role. They did put him at kick return. But that was it was kind of up and down. And then toward the end of the year, we just really didn't see him much at all. But John Harbaugh spoke about Keaton Mitchell. He said that it was miraculous that he even returned to the field last year. And he said, I'm almost certain he's going to be on a whole nother level coming back this spring. And they did say that he had a little bit of setbacks. He was still dealing with a little bit of the injury and whatnot. So that's why they sort of reduced his role quite a bit toward the end of the year last year. But I'm excited for Keaton Mitchell. I'm excited for him because, like, at running back, I feel like we're set, man. Because, again, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, I feel like we're in a really, really good place at the running back position. Then you still got Rasheen Ali. Still a lot of question marks on him, but we'll see. But Ravens, in my opinion, they're set right now. There's been a lot of talk about the banning of the tush push. And the way I feel about it, it's like, it's a football play, man. It's a football play. It's a glitchy football play. But it's like, if you can't stop it, I mean, it kind of is like unstoppable. And it's like, I know a lot of teams be like, oh boy, here we go with this tush push. I mean, we saw it in the Ravens-Eagles game. They certainly use it. But it's just one of them plays where it's like, it's real glitchy, like straight up, man. But Harbaugh said as far as banning the tush push, he said it's a football play. And he said the organization is undecided on which way it'll vote. So Harbaugh, like, cause you know Harbaugh, hey, he gonna get his vote on when it comes to some of them rules, man. He gonna let it be known how he is feeling, if he likes it, if he don't like it. But the fact that he said that they're undecided, it sounds like he not a big fan of the tush push. Cause I feel like if he was cool with it, he'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a football play, and then left it at that. But when he said they undecided, then he probably got some reservations about the tush push. But something that he didn't have reservations about is the Baltimore Ravens roster at this point of the year. Harbaugh said with the roster, he said, hey, we can line it up right now and play. Right here, right now. Let's go, baby. But he talked about how we got a really good roster, and I'm looking forward to the draft. We still got options in free agency. And that's true. We talked about with the Baltimore Ravens and their roster, like, they got a good roster. They got a really good core of players at so many different positions. And yeah, what Harbaugh said is right. They could line it up right now. Obviously, you would need some more depth and whatnot. And there's some areas where you need another starter here and there. But their roster is really, really good. He talked about the offensive line, said that he's happy with the state of the O-line, but there's still room to add a few more pieces up front. And yeah, that's true. We know that. Especially at left guard and even right guard too, just to have more depth. We got 4 out of 5 starters because, again, Daniel Falele is going to be a starter. We all know that. But they got 4 out of the 5 starters set. Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, Daniel Falele, and then Roger Rosengarten. It's just that left guard spot where it's the biggest question mark right now. Then he also talked about kickers because Sashi Brown, he was talking about Justin Tucker yesterday, and he said they still been getting periodically updated on the status of the investigation that the NFL is doing with Justin Tucker, because it's like that kind of went away for a while, because we ain't heard. There was one point where we were getting updated week after week after, but then it got quiet because we ain't getting no updates on nothing. So we'll see what happens with that, because it's been extremely quiet, for at least from our point of view. Sure, the Ravens have been hearing plenty of noise on it, but publicly there ain't really been nothing recently. So whenever we do hear something about that, we'll of course let you know. But Harbaugh said there are a lot of good kickers in the draft, and special teams coach Randy Brown has been traveling around the country looking at kickers, and that's something that Eric DeCosta talked about a couple of months ago. And Harbaugh said the team will be prepared to take a kicker if it's necessary. Will it be necessary? We're going to see. So John Harbaugh had a lot to say about the Baltimore Ravens, but let's get to my favorite part of the videos where we all have a lot to say about our favorite football team. Let's get straight into it. First question came from my guy, Lewis. He said, just sitting back thinking, how many game-winning or tying playoff drop passes do we have over the years? I can name 3. TJ Houshmandzadeh, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews. He said, are we cursed? My goodness, man. It's part of the game, man, and it's sad. It hurts, like, especially like when game, because that's what the Ravens do. Ravens don't get blown out of no playoff, and no playoff losses. They don't get blown out at all, and hardly any games. But the playoff losses, man, the games when they close, they hurt so much, especially because it's playoffs too. Because you know, like, it's over. That's it. It's done. And on those plays that you mentioned, the TJ Houshmandzadeh, the drop, Joe Flacco hit him right here. And he just straight up dropped it. And Quan Bolden actually dropped a touchdown in that game too against the Steelers. Zay Flowers, that fumble. It's like the touchdown is right there. He caught the pass, He did a yak and all that, dove, touchdown. Nope, fumble. It's like, oh, man. And then, of course, the Mark Andrews, the drop 2-point conversion. But, hey, that's football, man. It's a game of inches, and it's a struggle. It's tough. It's rough. But that's NFL for you. Next question came from my guy, Anthony. He said, good old John. He said, the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence, as the saying goes. I understand why some people wanted John gone, but we need to consider the consequences. Oh, what will be the consequences? He said, if we let him go and the new coach turns out to be a disaster, like the Chip Kelly debacle in Philly, how he broke that team up, we could end up in a worse situation. That's true. They could. But they could also end up in a better situation as well. So, just, again, like we said, we like to think about both sides, think about the good and the bad. But something that I've said, like, if another coach came in, like, how can you fail? How could you be worse when you have the best player in the world in a Lamar Jackson? You got the best safety in the world in a Kyle Hamilton. You got one of the best running backs in the world in Derrick Henry. You still got Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, like, your team is nice, man. Nice. In order to fail with this team, and I ain't talking about just failing in the playoffs, but I mean, just in order to be bad, you gotta be all work. You gotta be trying to be, even if you try to be bad, you can't be bad. So anyway, continuing, he said, there's a real risk of conflict with EDC and the players we like to draft and bring in. We could also lose Todd Monken. Oh, yeah, it will definitely be a trickle-down effect because a new head coach, they could be like, no, I want my offensive coordinator. I want mine. But anyway, he said most coaches prefer to bring in their own staff, and many seem to overlook this fact. Monken has unlocked the best version of Lamar we've seen to date, and if a new coach comes in, that progress could be jeopardized. We can't afford to lose Todd in the process of trying to get John out of here. Thanks for reading my message, and hope all is well with you and the family. Appreciate that, Anthony. Thank you, my friend. Next question came from my guy, Delonte. He said, hey, I'm Delonte. It's nice being subscribed to your channel and receiving more positive opinions on my favorite team. Appreciate that, Delonte. Thank you, man. He said, I was watching one of your previous videos and heard the email about getting Nick Chubb as Derrick Henry's backup. Just hear me out on this. Okay, what's my guy Delonte about this? He said, trade Andrews for a veteran edge rusher or cornerback. But who? Like, cornerback is a lot more options, but a veteran edge rusher, like who out there is left that will be worth trading Mark Andrews for? That's a question for me, because all the guys that will come in and just rock the Ravens and be crazy difference, like they all gone. They all signed to their deals right now. And anyway, he said that move will give us the flexibility of moving Henry to a wing or actual tight end while helping the defense at the same time. We have the running back depth, like you stated before. We have 3 decent backs dying for more in-game reps. We just signed Pat Ricard back for the support. Henry played wide out in high school, right? And we just signed D-Hop. Move your pieces, Harbaugh, please. Oh, no. Because at first I thought I read something wrong when I saw when he said move Henry to a wing or actual tight end. I was like, hold up, was that a typo? Did I read something wrong? My eyes not working right this early in the morning? Maybe that's the case. But then you continue and you say Henry played wide out in high school, right? No, you don't take nobody who just ran for 1,900 yards, rushed for 1 million touchdowns last season, then be like, you know what? You're gonna be our tight end. No! Now, he got the size to do it. He got the speed, and he got the hands. And, hey, he will fit in because I remember that drop that he had. Was it in the Bills game? Where he just a wide open, just drop, straight up drop. And, oof, man, Derrick. But he be catching more passes than he dropped. But anyway, no, you don't do that. He said, he said it's all hearsay until a move gets made. But this joke, and he put joke in quotation marks, he said, will definitely be on my table as a coach. Thanks again for keeping the Ravens Flock channel rolling. Appreciate you. And next question came from my guy, Coach G's Corner. He said, what's up, Ingraven? What's up, Coach? The man that always got the Ravens playing. Appreciate your content and all that you do. No, I appreciate all that y'all do. Because, again, we don't do nothing. It's all y'all, straight up, man. He said, let me get to it. I'm starting to think the Ravens are not going to trade Mark Andrews ever. Well, if they don't trade him, then he will be a free agent next year. But so would Isaiah Likely and so would Charlie Kohler. So something got to get figured out. But he said, I've been a Ravens fan since 2001. So Todd Heap comes to mind. And I believe he played majority of his years in Baltimore and finished in Arizona. Yeah, he did. He was with the Ravens. They drafted him. And, yeah, that boy was a baller, man. I remember Todd Heap, man. Like, and having been there for some of those Ravens games in person, And when you hear that, when Ty Heap make a big catch, especially a touchdown, Heap, it was the best, man. Anyway, he said, but Heap is a Ravens legend, and I feel Andrews is seen in the same light in the organization. Agree, 2,000%. You're right. Straight, like, yeah, that was perfectly said because it's true. He said, likely, unfortunately, might be the actual trade piece because you can possibly get more for him right now than you can for 89. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh gosh, that's scary to think about, but you're right. You're right. Oh, yeah, because likely is ascending. Mark Andrews is not necessarily descending, but likely is more of an ascending player. Well, he said, I don't like that scenario, but I'm starting to think that way. I know Lamar ain't down for 89 departure either, so they don't want to alienate 8 in the process. So maybe it's likely that's going to end up going. Taking a shot in the dark here, but I can see the Ravens keeping 89 and trading 80. Oh, as much as I hate that. I would hate that. I would hate it so much. I would hate it. I would hate it. I really would. It is a realistic scenario to think about. I don't want to see either one of them. I would love to see the Ravens keep both, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Because when you think about it, too, contract extension-wise, Isaiah Likely, he will be more expensive. But, again, the Ravens, a lot of times, they have done this before. If they got somebody waiting in the wings, then they will get rid of the older guy, even though Mark Andrews not even old. Mark Andrews can still ball. Mark Andrews can still play. He's still nice. We know the playoffs happen, but Mark Andrews is still a baller. And I know people, Mark Andrews, he don't show up in the playoffs. Mark Andrews, every time the playoffs, he don't do nothing, But, so I get that part. But how do you even get to the playoffs in the first place? You got to ball out in a regular season. You got to make enough plays in the regular season. Mark Andrews, regular season, boy, he be coming through. He be showing up, man. So it's don't forget everything that Mark Andrews does for something that Mark Andrews did.